Hey there, my name is Katarina Berry. I want to personally welcome you to my channel, and in today's video I will be talking about top 10 things that you need to know about Mars Retrograde 2020 from September 9th today to November 13th. Number 10, losing momentum. So Mars in retrograde often results in the slowdown. Mars is a divine masculine energy. It's about action, it's about conquest, it's about fast speed and results and manifesting. But when Mars goes retrograde, we experience this kind of loss of the momentum. If something was gaining momentum, gaining speed, it might slow down, it might suddenly kind of pause and leave you uncertain as to where this thing is going to go now. Now, the thing can be related to work, relationships, to your personal development. But in either case, it's important to remember that this is temporary. This is not a setback. This is simply a season, a astrological season, where the loss of momentum is expected. And it's a good time to reflect on how far you've actually already come and to really appreciate that progress, to give yourself some due, well-deserved credit for the work that you've done well. Number 9, energy depletion revealed. When Mars is in retrograde, you start noticing where your energy is getting lost. And the way that you start experiencing that is because you might feel extra tired. Mars in retrograde causes this fatigue, this kind of sluggishness, this need to rest more, to sleep more. And when you have less energy than you normally do, you become extra sensitive and extra aware of the energy drains that you have. And this is a good time to actually close these gaps, to actually close these channels that drain you, to release these situations, people, or demands that are depleting your energy, and really kind of focus on keeping your energy reserved for the things that you truly want to do, for the things that you truly want to focus on. Number 8, need for self-care. Mars in retrograde is a great time to dedicate to establishing a really consistent, really loving, really self-respecting, self-appreciating, self-nurturing, self-care routine. This is a great time to spend some extra time on recuperating, recovering, on looking after yourself, on making sure all your needs are being met, on making sure that you are taken care of. And the only person that can really do that is yourself. Now, when things are moving faster and when the season is all about manifesting and decisions and accomplishments, you might not have that much time for self-care, and that's okay. But Mars in retrograde slows things down as is, so it provides you this excellent opportunity to catch up on self-care, to up your self-care game, and to really focus on making sure that you are looked after and that you have plenty of rest, plenty of nutrition, plenty of love, and plenty of support. And if it's from no one else but you still gotta do it. Number 7, treating health imbalances. Mars in retrograde is also a great teacher about your health. Some issues might surface, but that shouldn't scare you, that shouldn't alarm you, that shouldn't set you in panic mode, although you might be inclined to do it with Mars in retrograde. However, I encourage you to stay calm and to take it as an invitation to shine light into these areas, into these areas of your health, into these areas of your well-being. Perhaps it's time to curb back the addictions, perhaps it's time to eat more healthy, perhaps it's time to exercise, perhaps it's time to maybe treat some of the issues that you've been ignoring, maybe finally address some of the things that you've not even looked at because you've been scared of them. Now is a good time to get to the bottom of what is causing any kind of health imbalances and treat them and bring them into balance, because this is certainly a perfect season to do so. Number 6, slowing down. There's a general loss of momentum in projects, but there's also a slowdown in your personal supply of energy. There might be a slowdown in the way that you move, in the way that you do things, in how much time you need to consider an issue and how much time you need to complete a task. And that is okay. The biggest warning that I have for you here is to not fall into the state of self-blame, self-guilt, self-condemnation, because it's taking you a little longer to do something that you're used to doing a lot faster. It's a really good time to be gentle with yourself and show yourself some compassion. Now, another thing that you might want to consider is that it's not just you. Other people will experience this as well. Other people will need to slow down or have to slow down without really having a choice. And you have to be compassionate towards that. You have to consider that the Mars retrograde is not just happening for you, it's also happening for others. So it's a great season for compassion, and you have to allow that extra time. You have to allow the slowdown, because if you try to fight it, you're only going to expend the energy, and it still won't help you move faster, because it's just what is going on in the sky. It's just what the planets are going through, and it affects us on Earth, of course, as well. So take this invitation to slow down, if not with appreciation, at least with respect, and allow more time. Don't guilt or blame yourself for moving a little slower, and be a little more compassionate towards others if they also have to slow down as well. Number 5, increased possibility of conflict. Mars in retrograde is known for causing some run-ins with people that you might have already felt maybe uneasy about. Maybe there have been some things stirring up and now they're coming to the surface. Maybe some unpleasant truths get revealed. Maybe something comes out. Maybe someone finally tells you what they think about you, and maybe you don't want to hear it. Or perhaps you become more quarrelsome with your loved ones, with your friends, with your family members, maybe even with your pets. And it's important to remember that this is just the energy of Mars. Mars is a warrior, and Mars can be a peaceful warrior, but when Mars is in retrograde, we tend to be a little more on edge. We tend to kind of lash out, and sometimes we can't even control ourselves. So keeping that in mind, it's important to remember that it is in your power to avoid or to lessen these unpleasant confrontations and these possible conflicts. And the way that you can do this is when you realize that you're kind of starting to feel agitated, aggravated, angry, when you're starting to feel like you're about to say something that you might possibly regret. Maybe it's a good time to step outside the room and go for a little walk, or just simply stand there and breathe, or maybe just switch your attention to something else. Because if it can be avoided, it might just save you the trouble and the energy drain that a conflict would result in. And it might also save a relationship, because when Mars is in retrograde, we tend to say things more aggressively in a more mean-spirited way than we otherwise would. And sometimes it's hard to control, but remember, you have the power to recognize when you're starting to feel a little more on edge, and you have the power to walk away. So be wise and use this power as much as you possibly can, especially during the Mars in retrograde season. Number 4, focus on introspection. Mars in retrograde is a great time to kind of go deeper within instead of branching out, to go inward instead of reaching out, to go inward instead of projecting. Now, what I mean by this is a good time to reflect. This is a good time for some solitary activities such as journaling, such as daydreaming, such as meditation, such as perhaps, if your current travel situation allows, going to a retreat somewhere, maybe in the nature, or somewhere outside the places where you usually go day to day, and really kind of step outside of your world, so to speak, and of your comfort zone and or of your routine, and see what is there within you that wants to be brought to the surface. What is awaiting illumination? What can you learn about yourself in this season, and what can you learn from all the progress that you've accomplished over the past year to 5 years? You know, how far have you gone? And where are you headed? This is a really good time to kind of clarify the vision, to clarify your true why for being on the path that you're on. And if your why has become unclear, or if you're no longer in alignment with your goals, then perhaps it's a good time to reevaluate them. But a warning here, try not to make any major decisions before the Mars Retrograde ends, which will be on November 13th. So you have these 2 months to contemplate, to introspect, to integrate the newfound truths, the lessons you've learned over the past period of your life, perhaps something that you have taken from the cycle you have completed recently, and put it all into perspective. But don't make any major decisions just yet. Just see if your current self is in alignment with where you're headed, with your goals, with your vision. And if not, begin the process of reevaluating them and begin the process of seeing what has come out of alignment, why, and what is a better match for the person that you have become. Number 3, work on planning. Mars in retrograde offers you an amazing opportunity to begin the long-term process of planning. Now, I don't mean long-term planning, I mean plans that span over a period of time that might be kind of far-reaching. Now, as I mentioned, now is not the best time to make major decisions. However, it is a great time to really envision with detail how you want to achieve your goals, and really make plans as to how you want to proceed, what you want to accomplish, and what sights you're setting for the next cycle in your life. So this is a great time to plan, but keep in mind some circumstances, some preferences, some ideas might change by the time you merge out of the Mars retrograde, which should be on November 13th. So you might have some changes happen to you during this period. However, that should only help you plan, because that will help you realign your vision, and that will help you navigate towards your goals with greater insight, greater clarity, and greater comprehension of not only why, but also what you want to achieve next. Number 2, focus on what you really want. This is very important because Mars retrograde season can be very overwhelming, exhausting, frustrating, disappointing, and aggravating. Now, it's important to stay positive, and not just positive. It's important to focus on what you want, because remember, the law of attraction is still in effect. It might be not working as fast as you would like. You might not be able to manifest as much as you're used to. However, you're still manifesting, you're still attracting. So if you get swayed into the negativity, if you start focusing on really negative things, on the anger, on the frustration, then you will attract more of that. So no matter how challenging the season might be for you, also depending on your astrological chart and the placements of your chart positions, you still need to make sure that you are aware of your thoughts and where you're focusing your thoughts, and whether you're focusing on something that you want or something that you don't want. Because remember, focusing on something that you don't want still attracts it to you. But focusing on what you want attracts something that you want to you. So that's obviously something you should opt for when you catch yourself having some negative thoughts floating through your mind, and something that you should adopt as a practice and try to stay consistent with it, especially during the season, because it might challenge you It might kind of push your boundaries a bit, but you can do it. I believe in you. I believe in myself. Let's do this together. Let's focus on what we want and let's keep at it, no matter how challenging this season might get. Number 1, finally, is relax into uncertainty. This Mars retrograde energy is very uncertain. It's very shaky, it's very unpredictable, it's very kind of here and there and all over the place, and one day it's this, another day it's that, changeable, just confusing, cancellations, change of plans, obstacles, all sorts of things. But the best thing you can do, contrary to what your initial reaction might be, is to simply relax, because this too shall pass. This is only going to last for 2 months, and with all the uncertainty that you might face, it is best if you allow yourself to relax into it, because resisting it will not help. Resisting it will only waste your energy and leave you even more frustrated. You need to conserve your energy. You need to charge your energy up through self-care, through attention to your needs, through attention to your health, as we've talked about. So make sure that you are not spending any energy that you might be conserving for things that you truly care about on resisting, on fighting, on forcing, on pushing. This is not the season to do it. So I suggest, very, very important, I suggest that you relax into this uncertainty, that you allow it, that you simply breathe through it and trust that you are still on the path, you are still walking your mission, and you will still get where you are going, no matter what, and that this is just a season, and it will teach you things, it will make you better, it will give you power, it will give you strength in more ways than you can expect. But in order to truly come out stronger than you go into the season of Mars in retrograde, you have to really embrace this acceptance, this allowing of the uncertainty, and try as best you can to relax into it. Thank you everyone for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this type of content, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. If you know anyone else who might be struggling with this Mars in retrograde, feel free to share this video with them. I would love to hear in the comments how you are processing this retrograde, whether you've experienced it before consciously, and what have been some of your experiences, what might be some of your tips for fellow viewers. I look forward to engaging with you in the comments, as I always reply to all of my comments. I'll see you guys in the next video, and until then, I love you so very much. I hope you can feel my love. Take care.